Before electricity lit our cities, before science had a spark, there was a boy with dirty hands and a boundless mind. Born in poverty, raised by pages of borrowed books, he didn't just study science, he became its guiding light. This is the story of Michael Faraday, the quiet force behind the electric age. Michael Faraday, from bookbinder's apprentice to master of electromagnetism, humble beginnings in Newington Butts. Michael Faraday was born on September 22, 1791, in Newington Butts, a modest suburb of London. His father, James Faraday, was a blacksmith and a member of the Sandemanian Church, a Christian sect that emphasized humility and simplicity. The family lived in poverty, and Faraday received only rudimentary schooling. But what he lacked in formal education he made up for with an insatiable curiosity. As a child, Faraday was quiet, observant, and deeply thoughtful. He was fascinated by the natural world and often asked questions that others overlooked. His early exposure to hardship instilled in him a resilience that would define his scientific journey. The bookbinder's apprentice. At age 13, Faraday began working as an apprentice to George Rebow, a local bookbinder. This job would become his gateway to the world of science. Surrounded by books, Faraday read voraciously. He was especially captivated by Jane Marcet's Conversations on Chemistry, a book that simplified complex scientific ideas for general readers. It sparked a lifelong passion for experimentation and discovery. During his 7-year apprenticeship, Faraday not only learned the craft of bookbinding, but also educated himself in physics and chemistry. He kept meticulous notes, conducted small experiments, and developed a disciplined approach to learning, traits that would later make him a legendary experimentalist. A life-changing lecture. In 1812, a customer at the bookshop gave Faraday tickets to attend lectures by Sir Humphry Davy, one of the most prominent chemists of the time at the Royal Institution. Faraday was mesmerized. He took detailed notes, bound them into a book, and sent them to Davy, along with a letter expressing his desire to work in science. Davy was impressed by Faraday's initiative and hired him as a laboratory assistant in 1813. This marked the beginning of Faraday's formal scientific career. From a humble apprentice, he was now working alongside one of the greatest minds of the era. European tour, learning from the masters. Faraday accompanied Davy on an 18-month scientific tour across Europe, meeting luminaries like André-Marie Ampère, Alessandro Volta, and Jean-Baptiste Biot. Though treated more like a servant than a colleague, Faraday absorbed everything. He observed experiments, asked questions, and quietly built his own understanding of the scientific world. This journey broadened his horizons and exposed him to cutting-edge research. It also reinforced his belief that science should be grounded in observation and experimentation, not just theory. Breakthroughs that shaped the modern world. Back at the Royal Institution, Faraday began conducting his own experiments. Over the next few decades, he made discoveries that would revolutionize physics and chemistry. Electromagnetic rotation, 1821, Faraday demonstrated that a magnetic field could produce continuous motion, a principle that led to the invention of the electric motor. Electromagnetic induction, 1831, his most famous discovery. A changing magnetic field can induce an electric current. This principle underlies electric generators, transformers, and much of modern electrical engineering. Electrolysis laws. Faraday formulated the laws of electrolysis, establishing a quantitative relationship between electricity and chemical reactions. This laid the foundation for electrochemistry. Discovery of benzene. He isolated benzene, a key organic compound, and contributed to the understanding of hydrocarbons. Faraday cage. He showed that an electric charge resides only on the exterior of a conductor, leading to the concept of electromagnetic shielding, used in everything from microwave ovens to secure electronics. Faraday also coined scientific terms like electrode, anode, cathode, and ion, which are still in use today. A mind guided by faith and simplicity, Faraday's brilliance was matched by his humility. He remained deeply religious throughout his life, guided by the principles of the Sandemanian Church. He believed that science was a way to understand the divine order of nature. Despite his fame, Faraday refused to patent his discoveries or seek wealth. He declined a knighthood and turned down the presidency of the Royal Society, preferring a quiet life of inquiry. His integrity and modesty earned him immense respect among peers and the public. Later years, teaching and legacy. In his later years, Faraday focused on education and public engagement. He founded the Royal Institution's Christmas lectures, designed to make science accessible to young audiences. These lectures continue to this day, inspiring generations of budding scientists. Faraday's health began to decline in the 1840s, and he suffered from memory loss. Yet he continued to teach and mentor, leaving behind a legacy that transcended his own lifetime. He passed away on August 25, 1867, at the age of 75. He was buried at Highgate Cemetery in London, and his contributions were honored by naming the unit of capacitance, the farad, after him. Why Faraday's story still resonates. Michael Faraday's life is a beacon for anyone who believes in the power of curiosity, perseverance, and humility. He rose from poverty and obscurity to become one of the most influential scientists in history, without formal education, wealth, or privilege. His discoveries power our homes, fuel our industries, and enable our digital lives. But beyond the science, Faraday's story is about the triumph of character. He showed that greatness doesn't require titles or riches. It requires passion, integrity, and a relentless pursuit of truth. Michael Faraday didn't just discover electricity. He illuminated what's possible when imagination meets persistence. From the shadows of poverty to the light of global progress, his legacy is a spark that still burns. And it all began with a mind that dared to